Welcome to my energy update. And we are on February the 2nd. We are still majorly in the full moon Leo energy. And I'm for one so excited because I do love a bit of lion energy, as you know, because Sekhmet is all around. And of course, Leo is the opposite of Aquarius, which is this guy here. And, I'm just excited. I'm just excited because even though this threshold is really, really intense, we are moving on to bigger and better things. And I'm excited because I get to kind of share my divine genius with those that are ready. And what I'm talking about here is beyond this intense month of February, because all the lights are going to come on. What are you going to be doing with it? How are you going to be expressing it in the world? This is where the Heca codes and the tablets of light tours to Egypt and Avalon, they all come into play because I help the creators create. And it's about bringing the idea, the thoughts into things, fire into form. And that ultimately is what you've come here to do. And that's why I'm so excited, because we've been so stuck in the shadow work for so long that isn't why we came. That was just what needed to be done in preparation of. You're about to see yourself show up in the world like you've never known yourself before. And that's just blows my doors off, just gets me super excited, because when we're at that level of just hey, let's do this, and we all come together as co-creators, master manifestors and all that kind of thing, magical things happen. And let me tell you, it's not just this life. We have been waiting for lifetimes to come to this point, just to create, just to hang out, just to be able to tap in and just be, just understand and know that we do shape reality. We're not the ones that force positivity. We're now getting the memo where we're like, hey, I think I know how to do this. Change your inner world and the outer world follows. And that's what the Heca codes is all about. That's what the tablets of light tours are all about as well. So I'm just chucking that into the mix because I guarantee that's going to be the next place that you're going to need to go, because it's time to create, y'all. This is the year to do it. So now let's talk about the creative energy through the full moon in Leo, right? So let's break it down like we do. Okay. Self-expression, authenticity, tick. Okay. Heart-centered leadership, tick. Creativity, courage and play. Being seen, speaking your truth, celebrating your uniqueness. I mean, yeah, all of the above, please, with a cherry on top, right? Self-expression. So that goes on to what's your contribution, all right? So like I've just said, you were never here you're not your pain, okay? We might think that because we've been in it for so long, but you're not your pain. You've got something inside there that is magical and amazing and that is just bursting to come out. So it's going to be like the new shoots of spring, where you're going to start to see little shoots coming up the ground. And you're like, oh, what's it going to be? What kind of plant or, flower it's going to be? That's the excitement and the curiosity of part of the manifestation creator being vibe, right? So that's where we're at. You're going to start to see little things wafting in and wafting out, and that's telling you now that the work is done. It's now time to create, right? That's your self-expression. Authenticity. Can't be in your own bullshit anymore. Well, you can, but suffer. Do you know what I'm saying? Can't be around other people who are in their bullshit, because I've just got zero tolerance for it now, and that's the choice. I don't have to go toe to toe with anybody. I'm just not going to be around it. Okay, bye. You know what I mean? And I was like, how easy was that? So now this is where we're at. So heart-centered leadership. Now I'm in the middle of teaching the Heca Codes group course at the moment, and we are having profound experiences because I walk the path with you. So when I teach the course, I enter into the work. It's the same as you do. So I walk in it with you, and 2-3 days in a row. So there was one hawk that basically landed on the path in front of me, middle of the day. I looked at him, he looked at me. Okay. Second day, flew across my car in the middle of the day into the woods. Right. Okay. Noted. And then just as I was going to sleep the next night, I saw a massive vision of a hawk coming in, and it was Horus. And funny enough, I was clearing my upstairs space out because I'm about to make an Avalon portal, because it's about that time. So we're gearing up for Lionsgate portal now. But I was upstairs and I was clearing everything out the way, starting up a new altar. And there's my son's statue of Horus. And I was like, you're important. So he's important. Why? Because heart-centered leadership. He is kingship. He is leadership. He is seeing things from a higher vantage point. He's hawk energy, man. I mean, we all know what hawk energy is all about, and it's a good bloody omen, right? So heart-centered leadership, I definitely would say that is very much a Horus vibe. And bearing in mind that Horus was the last human god in physical form as far as the Egyptian pantheon goes, right? So he is the one that sits at the bottom of the tree of life, like the Kabbalah symbol. It looks similar to that. The symbology of it, he's the one where he sits to the bottom, because he is who we're working towards, basically, to be embodied leadership, as above, so below, so within, so without. And as we come out of it, we're just like, we're just that powerful leader. And that's what you are, leader, creator, right? So then being seen goes without, like the hawk. I saw him. Speaking your truth, okay? Doesn't have to go to war with everybody. It's just about saying, like, I'm really good at that. Or like, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm owning it. Instead of thinking like I'm going to get there, it's like, I am there, done, right? Celebrating your uniqueness. It's time. This is your tablet of light. Toth has been speaking about this. He placed all of this energy in our DNA. We have very, very sacred information, very sacred codes within our beings, that when it came to the time to ignite it, which is about now, especially with the Leo moon, then all of a sudden it's like, oh God, it was always there all along. Yeah, it was. Just got to get out the way of yourself, right? Question. Now, what's your contribution? That's it. What's your contribution in this now moment? Are we in doubt? Are we blaming everybody because this happened to me and that the other? Are we sat in, I don't have enough money to do that? Are we sat in, when's it going to be my time? All under the banner of victim consciousness. When we step into the arena of the Hermetic life, which is all my teachings here, if it resonates, then that's you. So when you align with the all mind and you understand that the all mind is here and you're an extension of it, that's it and that's all. You align with the all mind. You know your truth. Have I failed? No, the all mind does not fail. So when you start to actually build this relationship and get in alignment with that, all of that other stuff comes out. If you're not willing to do that, then you're going to live in doubt, right? So it literally is just it's a location issue. Shift from there to here. Done. So what's your contribution? Okay. So if you are in that pain and suffering and everything like that, versus you could be in creativity, truth and love, because that's what it's all about. You're going to start looking at your life and going, what's my counsel looking like? Do I need to clean my counsel? Move it out. Do you know what I mean? Because the bottom line is this moon in Leo is going to illuminate, light up all of the shit that's around you that needs to go. And that's going to be habits, thought processes, people, places, and situations. So just be the observer of that. And it's going to be uncomfortable, but then also beyond that, instead of talking about the bad stuff all the time, what gets revealed when we finally let go of all of that shit? The truth. Let the truth tell. And the truth telling is you're a powerful leader. You're a powerful creative. That is what we are as humans. We came here we're creators. So if you're pretending that you're not, then Houston, we got a problem. You know what I mean? Okay, so now, how it manifests, how this comes around. So, like I say, being honest, getting clear with your patterns. Like I just said, calling yourself out on your bullshit, because remember, this is your movie. If there's somebody being an arsehole in your life, then you put them there for a certain level of learning, right? So what's the learning? What have you got to figure out between the two of you? Then you can let it go. If a situation is not great and it's still the same and it's been like this for years, well, it's like a reoccurring dream. Get the memo, get the message, and then you can move on. So I'm giving you a little bit of a hard delivery here, because this is very Sekhmet. She's so around at the moment. And she's just taking no shit. She's like, why are you there? You're supposed to be there. What are you doing? Do this. But then the other day, and I shared in my previous video, she showed herself as Mother the Healer. Now, listen, I'm not saying like this is not a pissing competition at all, but I've worked extensively on myself. This is my gig, man. I am in devotion of Sekhmet, always have been, and the embodiment process of her has been intense, but very, very rewarding. And now I'm kind of at that point where I have fully embodied her aspects, and that's what you're moving towards with spirit. It may not be Sekhmet, it may be Toth or whatever, but they are all of them are in us. In fact, the gods that we embody are actually the planets. It's Mercury. This is very Hermetic stuff. It's Mercury, it's Saturn. It's all of those things. We have all of those attributes within our being. That's why we literally are the cosmos. That's why we say we're the cosmos walking, especially the Egyptians. So anything cosmic, which is the gods and everything like that, it's in our being. So whatever bridge you want to build to come back to self, it's a bridge. It's not the bridge, because when you come back to self, then you know that you never left home. Okay, that's what you're moving towards. And that is the illumination of this full moon. Is going to wash away all the shit. And it's Leo is about stepping in. It's like, rah, rah, let's do this. Strength, power, tenacity, being part of a pride as well. Okay, that is also another thing, because lions aren't loan unless they've been kicked out from the pride because they've been naughty, or they're just a male who's just causing loads of shit. Nobody's got time for shadow divine masculines. They need to go. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so apart from that, there's always a pride, and you always always part of a network of some sort, a community, a family, right? So come and understand the fundamentals of that working with others is kind of what turns your Christmas tree lights on as well. So also as well, I do want to say that how do you ignite and manifest all of this? Listen, you're talking to the biggest hermit in the world, right? I live in my cave constantly. I kind of like being at home. I'm living in the woods here, got my dogs, got my animals. Husband's not here most of the time. And I'm just happy. I'm just so happy in my buzz, you know? And I'm like, I'm really okay with that. But here's the thing. If I want life to happen to me, I have to go out. I have to go and step out of my comfort zone, because look at it like that. In a way, this could be my cave a little bit. And, you know, I can't expect spirit to drop profound messages or meetings with people or conversations to do with what I was born to do with my purpose. So you have to get out the house, because how's life going to find you? So that is where you got to come out of the cave. You have to come out of the cave, because you can't expect spirit to come and meet you at the back of the cave, because it don't work like that. How it always works is spirit makes you move, because you've got to trust first of all, and then they meet you, right? So you can't expect them to come in and then, okay, I trust you now, then I'll step out, because nobody's coming to save you, honey. I worked that out a long time ago. And when I realized nobody was coming to save me, I was like, oh, okay, no codependency then. I've got to do it. And I did do it. And this is what you see here. And I know that you can do the same if you haven't done already. Do you know what I mean? So being honest and clear with your patterns, meaning get the hell out the house, go out there, live life. If there's something you want to do, you can't expect to qualify as a author if you're not prepared to go out and visit the course once every day for 7 days, because there's a course going on down your road. You know what I mean? You've got to get out there. You've got to live life. You've got to meet people, right? You know, so now releasing the old identities, that goes back to what I previously said with Leo. Let it wash away. That could be something you put on your altar. Call on the full moon of Leo. Let it go. Let it flow. I release the old identity that I have been carrying for so long. The victim, the wounded healer, whatever it might be, you know, the abused wife, abused husband, you know what I mean? The one that's luckless, you know? So we're getting rid of all of that. So use this full moon to take away the old baggage, right? Because it's like I said to you, if you don't know exactly where you're going or what to do, that's not the biggest issue. The best way to go now is to go with your sacred no, because if you say no to what you don't want, because I definitely don't want that, I definitely don't want that, and I really don't want this, you can all go. Take that off the table. What remains is for you. It's another way of doing it, right? So being seen, what I've just said, public recognition. So beyond this moon, and as we move through February, you came here to do stuff. You have a purpose. You have a uniqueness and a frequency that the world's never known before. And you are actually being asked now to express that in the world. It doesn't mean you've got to go and build a bloody YouTube channel. It doesn't mean that you have to go and build a 3-story ashram, okay, in India. It just means you've got to step out that and be there and be creative. Express what you've got going on inside, because we're all creatives. And if you need help doing that, like I say, that's why the Sekhmet pilgrimage is there. That's why the tours to Avalon are there. That's why my Hecacode sessions were born through me for this exact timeline, because intention plus action equals creation. And it's a very beauteous, gentle way of you coming out of the cave into the world. That is what it's designed for. I help the creators create. So let it settle, petal, as I always say. This is your energy update for the full moon in Leo. I know that we're kind of like, it was yesterday, but you're still in the energy of it. 3 days prior, 3 days after, it's at its most blah, blah, blah. Did you understand that? It's at its most potent. So work with it. But I really do wish you many, many blessings, as this is kind of like the doorway. We're going, and we're opening up to February. Holy shit, are you ready? I'm going to be traveling over February, so I'm going to be sending you all sorts of videos from all sorts of parts of the world, I think, as well as here. And yeah, anyway, I will be reporting on the job. Anyway, lots of love to you. Peace and love. Chat later.